that's actually my second one. Thank you. Sounds good. Hi, my name's Zoe. Tonight I'm gonna do a poem for you, and then we're gonna do some karaoke. Last open mic, I started my poem off with a quote by Edgar Allan Poe and a quote by me. And I'm going to go on that theme again, and I'm going to do the whole intro with a quote by Edgar, and then end the poem with a quote by Edgar. And then this piece is started with my quote. And I do want to mention this quote is extremely special to me because when I was in the facility that I'm describing in this poem, I was doing some healing and a man noticed. And he said to me, and I'll never forget it word by word, "Your type does not belong on my earth. You should all be sunk to the bottom of the ocean." So here's a quote by Edgar Allan Poe from The City in the Sea, 1831. "Lo, death has reared himself a throne in a strange city lying alone, far down within the deep, dim west, where the good and the bad and the worst and the best have gone to their eternal rest." Woo. This is called Specification Specimen Test Graduation. This one is for all the souls who couldn't enunciate and wasted away, forgotten, committed to a cage. I've never heard it, but I remember your name. You were never insane. You just couldn't explain. Oh, believe, I know that pain. Eureka, you exclaim. You're trying to arrange every little way your orchestra will play, but you are not classically trained. Your tongue does not match your brain. The latter glides like a raven flies, and the other hummingbird hovers, gracefully flutters, disguised by blurred lines, its spastic turbines. Now your sloppy sentences are being technically dissected, and because of your lack of specificness, your words are being twisted into an entirely different message. So how this get messed with? Naive delivery with short-sighted good intentions? Or was it perception? Biased ears will only let in what they're willing to hear and accept. But let's not rule out the possibility that instead of them judging critically, they have more of a disability. People fear what they do not understand, and sad's favorite secondary emotion is mad. Angry leads to rage and escalates into violence, the kind of defiance whose tactical talks start real-life riots, who in charge they don't like, the leaders with the power to ignite a group of people who were just given the information, a reminder more like that simple math can graph irrefutably the fact, the ratio so that you can see and process that the oppressed will always have numbers over the oppressors, whether it's 8-1 or 1-2, the latter is the outlier of the group, most likely the ringleaders of these primal fist feeders, searching frantically for a fight, clicking teeth, gnashing, waiting to bite, looking up, awaiting the word to rise, wounded soldiers with no names, the skeletons claw from the unmarked graves. Yard on sight, if you're committed, you're here for life, systematically being executed. This isn't history, they still fucking do this. The only thing different from the asylum days is a new paint job and a candy-coated name. Boarded, beaten, then injected. Hazmat suits? Wait, who's infected? Torturing the suspected culprits into dejected mind states until they have been rehabilitated into believing that they're insane and teaching them to be silent and well-behaved, but they will regret genociding these people perceived differently when they're fighting an unseen enemy. You're killing off our healers, wounded warriors and sightseers who've been shouldering your horrors, and when you're in hand-to-hand combat with an alien contact, you're gonna want back the people you aggressively attacked and wish they were there to illuminate the darkness protruding, looming your way. Our wars is now against humanity. Our demons have begun manhandling the host bodies that we as people are at a war uncivil against ourselves. Demons, vices, crosses to bear. We fight in others what inside us scares. Greed, pride, envy, and wrath. And that's just the starter pack of the games like we used to play when you and your friends would stop and laugh. Silly little games is what they would think. But in this realm, score is kept differently. A win is a win and a loss is a loss. An exchange of energy that fuels the larger entities, the karmatic flow, and where it goes. Try and smite me and I'll dance like you're shooting at my toes. Such delightfully funny mental imagery of me hopping around like a rabid bunny. But the picture that I paint for you is nothing like what I have been viewing. It's like I wrote the book and you only saw the movie. You will put respect on all of the names of the real-life human sacrifices who died alone, who died confused alone, far from home, like the ending to Edgar's final poem. In his last breath, dressed in clothes that fit, almost as ill as the skin and bones of his own he was in. He parts his lips and outsplits the final plea regarding whose soul to be kept. Lord, help my poor soul, was his final statement. I won't get started on his poorest post-death desecration, but this is not fiction or caricature. There are people who are currently enduring this torture, receiving what America calls care. There are vulnerable souls taking blows, both psychological and physical, even spiritual, violated in every possible way. You can ask me once again. I do this for the gravestones marked only specimen.